What's up, guys? Barry Gaming here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today we're coming back with the second bracket in this first ladder of Barry's Battle Bowl. So we have the dark bracket. We randomly assign them. Now there's a couple that did not make the cut. I believe the couple that didn't make it were Mim and Forces. So sadly Forces isn't here, but I wouldn't expect Forces to do too much, honestly. We have some really interesting lineups. The first is the battle of the revives, Carrie versus Sleepless. Second, Aspen versus Arthindol. I'm thinking Aspen has a good chance here. Moge versus Amvour. Now Amvour's shields might be the dark horse that gives her the win in this entire bracket. We'll have to see. Plus her healing curse could help against certain heroes. And then we have Drake versus Amvour, the battle of the assassins. So these random matchups have been pretty interesting. I do feel like for some reason it's going to be Aspen versus Amvour in the final, with Amvour actually winning, but this could be really cool. And I heard what a lot of you guys said in the first video. I think what we're going to do is we're going to take the overall winner from the regular faction. So the top winner of Shadow, Fortress, Abyss, and Forest will be the winner. And then we'll probably take like the top two from both Light and Dark. That way we have a nice, cool 8-player bracket for the finals. I think that's what we're going to do. So let's jump into the dark bracket. Number one fight is going to be Carrie versus Sleepless. Okay, so the first battle, Carrie is going to get to be on offense by luck of the draw. Best of 7 like before. Let's jump into these. Let's see how these are going to work out. There are revives. I just don't know how much damage Sleepless Mark is going to do. Because Sleepless also gets a revive guaranteed, whereas Carrie does not. Sleepless could be a dark horse in this event, right? I mean, it really depends, I guess, on if a Carrie gets a mark on him. If Carrie gets a mark, ooh, this one's coming out a little bit different. Carrie is faster. That mark damage is huge though, and Sleepless goes up 2-0 over Carrie. This is interesting. This is why I thought this would be so cool to see 5 stars in action. A lot of this is also going to come down to how many times Carrie can dodge, but every time Carrie hits Sleepless, she still gets a mark from him, which is very, very strong. It is a really close battle, but Sleepless goes up 3-0. Is Carrie even going to take one of these battles? I don't know. Ooh, that is huge right there. Getting the mark off, which is a very low chance, like a 20% chance, might be exactly what she needs to win. She does get the loss because she is on offense. Very interesting. So Sleepless does take round 1. That was a really interesting fight. Okay, in round 1, the second bracket here, we now have Aspen versus Dark Arthindol. So 2 of the older heroes. This one's going to be interesting. I don't know if Aspen's going to take the win or the energy drain plus the big nuke from DA is going to take the victory. This one could be an upset because I feel like Aspen has such a good chance to win, but it all comes down, I think, to the energy drain of DA. Because Aspen does have a heal, but there's a Horrify, I think. Oh my goodness, the Petrifies from DA are coming in huge. Oh, but the victory, the come from behind with the Aspen. This is what I'm talking about. I figured the Dark faction would have some really good fights, and a lot of this is going to come down to energy drain and petrifying. Now, I don't know. Oh my goodness, I said horse. Aspen's getting locked out, but now the counter CC coming out with those Horrifies is pretty big. Aspen going up 2-0. Once he can get some CC reduction, immunity reduction on him, he is good to go, but he does need to get those attacks off first. His actives are very huge, but it's a very small energy drain from DA, but it counts for a lot. I think... Oh my god, it's so close! Aspen pulls out the near loss into a victory. He is up 3-0. This is pretty crazy. I thought DA would have a really good chance, and it really is a close fight, but it comes down to Aspen having a bunch of healing. It's only a 1,000 heal most of the time, but it is enough to keep him going. That was a 3,000, absolutely huge. So Aspen sweeps DA, even though it was an extremely close fight, 4-0. Next up, we have an interesting battle. We have an older dark hero, Moge, going up against probably what I think is going to be the winner here, Amon-Ra. So I'm thinking Amon-Ra is going to get the win, mainly because of her shields. She has healing. She has a decent amount of damage. If she goes up against a hero that has healing, she's just going to do even more. I really don't think Moge has a single chance to beat Amon-Ra, especially, well, the active and the bleed does go through. Amon-Ra does have a petrify. It was a lot closer than I was originally expecting. So Amon-Ra goes up round 1, 1-0. So the healing curse isn't doing anything. Her shields are useful if she goes before Moge, which is a big if here, because Moge can get a stacking speed buff here, which allows him to go before Amon-Ra's shield goes up, but I just don't think he has enough damage coupled with Amon-Ra's CC. Now the bleed does go and do damage through shields, which is nice, but it's just not enough damage from the looks of it. That one right there just healed her up. Doesn't help that much. I think this looks like a very easy victory number 3 for Amon-Ra. She has that assist damage. You see the bunch of 1000s going up. That is her assist damage when anyone uses an active, which includes herself. So it looks like Amon-Ra is going to clean sweep this 4-0. So far, they've been pretty much one-sided battles, but the way the bracket kind of laid out, besides the DA Aspen one, I thought they'd all be very far apart. I honestly thought Carrie was going to beat Sleepless, but Sleepless came out of nowhere. This could be interesting because Sleepless, if he goes up against Amon-Ra, that damage goes through the shield. This is very, very interesting. Fight 3 of round 1 goes to Amon-Ra. And the last battle of round 1 is going to be an interesting one. We have Drake on offense against an Amvour. Battle of the Assassins. For some reason, I'm feeling like Amvour might take this unless Drake has some good dodges. I don't know why. Amvour just seems like a really good 1v1 hero, but we'll have to see if his damage holds up against a Drake with that defense down ability. Ooh, the dodge on the active and a huge active from Drake with that black hole mark, finishing him off very easily. Is this actually going to go 4-0 to Drake, or does Asmodel have a chance here? It all comes down to the active landing, I think. It does hit, but it's not enough. The end of round damage from the black hole mark takes the Amvour down pretty easily. The defense down is a nice big damage boost for sure. Now, if only Amavour's active reduced energy, but it looks like Amvour just doesn't have enough damage to be the better assassin here. You'll notice his basic attack does reduce energy, which buys him an extra round, but he just doesn't have enough damage, even with Drake not critting to do anything. So Drake does move on, but I don't think Drake can beat Amvour. We will see in round 2. So after that first round, we have one upset, which was Sleepless. Aspen versus DA was going to be close, but Aspen did get the victory. And I honestly thought Amvour had a better chance against Drake. It was close, but not close enough. So we have Sleepless versus Aspen first. Then we're going to come back to Amon-Ra versus Drake. This could be interesting. I almost kind of hope Sleepless somehow pulls this off, because I would love to see Sleepless versus Amon-Ra. But if Aspen's the one, then I think Aspen's just going to get completely nuked by the healing curse from Amon-Ra. We're going to have to see. Let's jump into the round 2 battles. Okay, so Sleepless does get to go on offense. I don't think there's an issue with speed, though. I'm pretty sure Aspen is the quicker of the two, since Aspen's much newer than Sleepless. This could be an upset. It all comes down to that mark damage. Let's see how much it does against this Aspen. I do not know. And, ooh, Aspen doesn't do that much damage to Sleepless. And Sleepless has a revive. This is pretty crazy. Is Aspen... Oh my goodness. Sleepless actually destroys Aspen in round 1. Sleepless could be the dark horse in this 5-star battle. This is really crazy how strong an older hero can be. Now, see, even though Sleepless gets horrified and can't attack, every time Sleepless gets hit, it puts one of those marks onto Aspen. This is a much closer battle this time around. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is Aspen going to pull it off? No, it's so close. Is he gonna win? Okay, it is 1-1, the battle of the warriors, because yes, Sleepless is a warrior, so it's 1-1. Sleepless has a victory, Aspen has a victory. These are very long battles, which are really cool. Is gonna come down to if Aspen crits or not, and how many horrifies get applied as well, because every time he's horrified, that is gonna be a big bonus to Aspen here, a big heal, but he still takes mark damage. Now if he doesn't horrify, I think Sleepless will win this one. Yep, so Sleepless goes up 2-1 against Aspen. This is a nail biter right here. I honestly don't know who's going to win. It just takes one or two good crits or horrifies like this right here. Although he did have an active, Sleepless did get around that horrify by having an active going. That revive and extra life is so strong. And this just goes to show mark damage is extremely strong. So, Sleepless goes up 3-1 versus Aspen, and I totally forgot, Sleepless can petrify as well, which is an added bonus to his toolkit as a 5-star. This one looks like it's not even close. Sleepless just annihilating Aspen, a hero that I thought would go to the finals, getting knocked out. So Sleepless beats Carrie, he beats Aspen. This is crazy. On to the other battle of round 2. Okay, so the other battle is going to be Amon-Ra versus Drake. Amon-Ra gets the offensive. I think Drake is faster, but I feel like the shields from Amon-Ra are going to be huge unless Drake gets some crazy dodges off. But if they're active synergize, this could be really bad for Drake. He could just heal her back up. There is a defense down, which means she's going to do some good damage here. Black hole mark might be a huge factor though. Heals up. Okay, this is really close, but it does look like Drake is gonna take the victory due to speed. Now, I don't think Amon-Ra is going to actually win this one now. I think if she faced anybody else but Drake, this would be a win, but the damage from the basic is not enough to heal Amon-Ra enough to keep her into the battle, and the fact that Drake is faster means his active goes off before Amon-Ra's shield goes up. Oh, and there's a dodge. I think Amon-Ra gets obliterated on this one right here. There's no chance for her. I think she gets clean swept by the Drake. This is a huge upset in my eyes. I really thought Amon-Ra had what it took to beat everybody. I think Drake is literally one of the few heroes she would lose to. And that's why these bracket matchups are completely random. And every time we do it, we could see completely different results. So Drake takes the win. I did not see that coming. Well, I did not expect to see this in the finals, to be fair. Sleepless versus Drake. Warrior from like the beginning of Idol Heroes almost. And Drake, one of the newest assassins. I didn't think either of them had it. I literally thought it was going to be like DA, Aspen, Amon-Ra, Carrie. I even thought Amvour would go further than this with the energy drain, but Drake with the dodging, huge damage, the black hole mark, and then Sleepless, again, mark damage is huge in this. I was not expecting mark damage to play such a big role, but let's jump into it, into the finals. I'm kind of leaning towards Sleepless now. Let's see how this goes. All right, so Sleepless, by luck of the draw, gets to go on offense against Drake. This is going to be an interesting one, especially since Sleepless has a revive and Drake does not. That mark damage was huge. Oh my goodness. Did he dodge? I think Drake just dodged there. I think the second life is just way too much for people to handle, especially in combination with the revive. Even though Drake dodged the attack, Sleepless's mark still gets applied for taking damage and getting hit by the Drake. Drake's gonna have to literally either have a huge crit or dodge a ton of attacks, because just hitting the Sleepless is enough for him to take damage at the end of every round. Oh, I didn't think he was gonna die. Sleepless just went up 2-0. I can't believe the strongest 1v1, at least the way the matchups happened, could potentially be Sleepless. This is crazy. Drake has to crit and one-shot him here. Otherwise, he dies at the end of the round from the mark from hitting the Sleepless. 3-0 Sleepless. What's going to happen here? Even with that defense down and the mark damage, you got to remember, without guild tech, without all the like their upgraded levels, most of these heroes do not have much, if any, crit damage. So getting a crit is a very rare thing. I didn't think I would say it, but Sleepless is the victor, 4-0, basically sweeping every single round. Well, there you have it. Sleepless came out of nowhere with the dark bracket. So most likely that's going to mean Drake and Sleepless both move on to the grand finals, the overall bracket. Now, next up, I think we're going to move on to Shadow. Shadow is going to be a double bracket, because of course we have about 16 heroes in the normal faction, so we're going to do 8 and 8 brackets and then have the 2 face off in a final battle. I don't know if I'm going to do all of Shadow in one video or break it up, because these are already a decent length video. We'll see. You guys let me know in the comments. Do you want to see Shadow all in one long video, or do you want to break it up into 2 different shorter ones? Easier to digest, less you have to watch every day for Barry Gaming content. You guys let me know, but wow, Sleepless, I can't believe it.